Unsigned518. I'm here with Ryan Shaw of ShortWave fucking RadioBand. Oh my God, it is such an honor to talk to such a megastar like yourself.
I can't believe I'm here.
No, yeah, obviously everybody knows we're in the same band, and I asked you to come do this because I needed a guest real quick, and you live like 90 seconds away from me, so
This is
I
true.
was like, Ryan, come over and be my guest. But what we want to do, because there is purpose, obviously, Shortwave Radio Band just put out an album.
Yes, we did.
And you had a very strong hand in the songwriting on the album. And we do want to get, like, up to that point, but I kind of want to give you the chance to tell the story of Ryan Shaw up until Shortwave Radio Band, into Shortwave Radio Band, and kind of the process that went into the album. So I guess just like, fucking briefly. Let's like tell like your kind of introduction with music.
Sure. I was born on a Monday, naked, as most of us are.
Oh, that's sexy.
My interest in music started pretty early. Took piano lessons at 8 years old. Music was always sort of ingrained in me. And in 1996, when I was in sixth grade, me and a bunch of my buddies thought it would be cool to ask our parents for guitars from the JCPenney catalog for $69.99. So me and a group of 8 guys got some guitars. We were super
all
cool.
fucking 8 of you.
Yeah, we all got them.
Played guitar.
We brought them to school.
You were a band of 8 dudes that played the guitar.
Yeah, that played "Come As You Are."
Okay, but nobody was like, yeah, maybe I'll play the bass.
No,
maybe
it was all just acoustic guitar. We didn't know any better. We were from Ty.
And by that you mean
Ticonderoga, New York,
New York,
where I was in the fife and drum corps at Fort Ticonderoga. Maybe you've heard of us. We've been coast to coast.
Were you actually coast to coast playing drums?
Yeah, well, we did. And when I was in fife and drum, we got to go to the Ronald Reagan Library in Anaheim, California, and play there.
Dude, but,
well, I mean, the library was cool. Anaheim was cool. Long Beach was cool. We played every St. Patrick's Day in the Boston St. Patty's Day parade.
Really?
Yeah.
How many years? See, this I didn't know.
Hey,
how many years did you do this?
all my high school summers, so 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. So we'd go over there in March. Right after 9/11, we did go down to Manhattan. It's called the Ticonderoga Ball. It's something that they do for the like a fundraising event. And we just marched down several blocks of Manhattan, and people were going nuts. They thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I got to do some pretty cool stuff.
So you kind of are a little bit of a big deal. Do you still have was it like a kilt and shit?
It was, we were 18th century continental musicians. So we represented the American side.
Do you still have the uniform?
I do. You should see the butt. That's the best part. It's just this big poofy like chef hat. It's great.
Sweet. Yeah, you should bust that out sometime.
I totally will.
So yeah, I didn't know that. But your original after the octuplet of acoustic guitar players, like at some point you played bass, right?
I did. So we had a lot of things going on simultaneously. We had grunge going on. We had fife and drum going on, and a reggae band. Right. So when I got to high school,
wait, tell everybody the name.
I joined the Zion Riders Reggae Unit.
The Zion Riders Reggae Unit.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of white kids out of Ticonderoga.
Yeah, man. You don't start up nothing, there won't be nothing.
But that. I mean, I love reggae music as well, and you learned like a really solid foundation of like traditional reggae bass stuff, like, because that's the other thing that like I almost fucking hate to admit is that you're a much better bass player than me.
I don't
like,
think so.
I'm the bass player in the band, and I'm like, well, yeah, Ryan's a better bass player than me, and it's like, well, why doesn't he play bass? It's, well, because he's also a better guitar player than me. So like, it just, I'll just hang back here.
I go where I'm needed, and there's certain tunes that I'm glad that you're singing on. I couldn't sing Sabotage.
Oh, I could barely sing Sabotage.
So I'll jump on for a song like that.
Yeah, but like, all right, so you've got the reggae playing bass, and when you like learned bass guitar, like you learned it. Like when I learned it, I learned it like almost like a combination of drums and acoustic guitar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay.
But I'm just now kind of getting the feel of like traditional bass, quote unquote, lines.
Yep.
And you kind of learned that right from the start, right?
I was sort of forced into that. Usually I would just play the root notes like we'll do in any kind of punk song.
Like I do now. And I'm like,
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's awesome. But when you're getting into reggae and stuff like that, you're getting into like arpeggios and just knowing a scale and the notes that work in that scale. I'm not really a theory guy. I always am envious of theory people.
Same.
You know, they're nerds and I want to be just like them, but I just have never done it. I kind of know a bit of theory, but it's mostly by ear. I was taught to play the guitar by ear. So that's just what I do to this day.
right. Yeah, and I like lean on technology a little, like especially like now. Like I mean, you've seen the app on my phone that like that breaks down the tabs. And,
Oh yeah.
You can isolate the sounds and slow it down and loop everything, and that's how I've been learning.
Very helpful.
And
right?
and it's like going back and like checking out like old punk songs or old reggae songs
Right.
or old classic rock songs or blues songs or
Yep.
whatever, but like shit that like I'm familiar with on
Right.
like I know the song,
Yeah.
but I've never learned to play. Learning shit like that just for fun has really helped. Like
Yeah.
you don't even know. Like I've learned.
Maxwell Murder, you were learning
No,
the other
fuck
day.
that. But like I've learned probably 10 or 15 cover songs
Right.
by myself, just like in the dazzle, then that nobody in the band even knows that like I learned, because it's not something that I want to bring to the band. It's just something
To have at the ready.
no,
if
just
needed,
to
or
almost,
just so you know.
just to almost like
Hey, I've always
learn
wondered how to play it.
Yeah,
that
like
song.
almost like to
Yeah.
learn something new. To just be like there was this one Creedence song. What is it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's that.
Oh, like the Vietnam song?
Yeah,
from Forrest
Fortunate
Gump?
Son.
Yeah.
yeah. So Fortunate Son. The other day, I was just like, that'd be a fun one to learn.
Yeah.
So I like busted out the acoustic guitar and spent like fucking 2 hours, and I learned like basically the whole thing of Fortunate Son, and then I'll probably never ever play it again.
Well, I'm learning a lot tonight. I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, like nobody, and
great.
that's why I always say, like in practice, at band practice, when people, people be like, did anybody practice? I'm like, motherfuckers, I practice all the time.
Andy's like, I'm exhausted. I did not know you're playing Fortunate Son all day.
Because I don't, not that I don't go anywhere, but like I like being at home, and when I have free time, I like being here, and part of that free time is usually grabbing my bass or.
Well, it's nice that keeps you productive,
Yeah,
Yeah.
chopping it up.
Sweet.
So I guess let's talk about, because maybe some people don't know how you even joined the band, but like I'll begin it from my side, and then we'll pass it over to like
Sure.
your side of things. But like my side of things, it was Abby had just joined the band. Maybe like a week or
It was like a
two.
matter of weeks.
Yeah, it was like maybe a week or two. And there was some things that had come up where we had gigs scheduled and lined up, and Lonnie might have to step away for a little. He had some things that he had to take care of, and he was like, I might not be able to make these dates.
Right.
And instead of cancel them, we were like, well, maybe we can bring in a fucking ringer. Because John was like, hey, this guy Ryan that I've been playing with is like really good or whatever. And then like it ended up being for moot even before we called you, because like shit worked out where Lonnie didn't have to, he was like, no, I can make the dates. And we're like, well, let's just bring in another, we need, another guitar player
Right.
to like, to feel like a traditional band,
Right.
and so John texted you and said, hey, do you know where my buddy Andy lives? And you were like, yeah. Can you come by? And you're like, okay.
I think it was more like interesting development. Giddy up.
Probably. That's actually in John vernacular. like
I know exactly what that means.
yeah.
I remember I had a 4-pack of Hetty Topper and Vocal Banger in the fridge, and I grabbed them both. And I said to my wife, Tammy, they're going to ask me to join the fucking band.
Yeah.
I know it. I'm bringing beers.
Yeah, we were going to ask you to and we had met like twice, maybe.
Yes, when I came to see you guys, Shortwave Radio Band,
Yeah.
play at...
When we were just a trio.
Yes, playing at Bound by Fate right here in town.
Yeah. And Lonnie had never met you.
Right.
And Abby had never met you.
Right.
And we basically, all four of us, decided that if you said yes, that you were joining the band before, and none of us had ever heard you play.
I had never been to your house or anything, so I'm walking in, and I've never been in it wasn't even named the Dazzle Den yet. It was your garage.
It was my garage.
But it still looked much like it does now, being that it was dark with different kinds of lights on.
But there wasn't any. There wasn't any carpet.
Oh, that's
then.
right. There was no carpet.
no
back then.
carpet, and I don't. Were John's drums already set up? They were.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm walking through the front door. You guys are all at the other end of the room,
Yeah.
speaking to me from across the room. It was very surreal, and it was very serious right from the beginning. And I'm holding all these beers, and you basically were like, "So this is what's happening," and we were just wondering if you'd join the band. And I said, "Sure, but would you like to hear me play first?"
And we were like, no.
Specifically you go, "No, John said you can play." And I knew from that moment, I'm like, okay, I can hang with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do remember definitely being like, no, we're good. We don't need you. We don't need to hear
I
you
was a
play.
little like, wow.
Are you in or are you not? And you're
And
like,
I was
yeah,
in.
all right, I'm in. We're
Sure.
like, cool. First practice is Monday at 6.
I was so excited, and we'll just figure it out as we go. And that's what
you
we've been doing.
And you hadn't played in a band at that, because you're how old are you now? You 40 now? You 39?
I can't remember. It changes every year.
Are
41.
You are 41. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You are fucking
I'm
old.
right between that Gen X and Gen Y. They call us the Goonie generation, the Genials. Yeah.
I love the Goonies.
Yeah.
But you hadn't played, because you are a dad.
Right.
You've got 2 teenagers. Well, is still a teenager? Or
Yeah.
Is he 20 yet?
They
still a
change
teenager.
every
He's
year,
still a
too.
teenager.
When
All
they're
right.
grade that
Well,
they're
that's
in.
the other thing too. Is I was like, one of these days I'm going to be like, yeah, you got 2 teenagers. Oh, what? They're 25 and 27. Holy fuck! No, so they are still teenagers.
Right.
But so how long had it been since you played in a band?
Well, really, it had been 20 years, but I did skip over the bagpipe band stuff that I did while I was living in Florida with my family. I was in a competition bagpipe band playing snare drum in the Fort Lauderdale Highlanders, and simultaneously an offshoot band called the Ghetto Pipers, where we would play in kilts and black T-shirts, basically for Jameson and money and rides home. We would do every halfway to St. Patty's Day, September 17th, and St. Patty's Day. So that was a lot of fun. So those bands, if you want to call them bands, and I would.
It counts.
I
Yeah,
would.
absolutely counts.
That was the only musical thing I had done in 20 years. Like almost to the day, 20 years, I figured it out when, I was asked to join the band.
Was
so
the last time you'd fifed and drummed?
Right. I mean, I would noodle on the guitar over the years, but nothing crazy.
And I mean, I say the same thing. I'm like, I have never been in a band, but I played in a couple cover bands, and I've been playing the guitar since I was 16,
Right.
15 or
Yeah,
16
it's like
or
it's
whatever. I
ingrained
never
in
stopped
you.
playing.
Right.
But I never played for people. But yeah, so anyway, you hadn't played in however long. You didn't even have a fucking guitar, right?
No, we had to figure that out.
We had to figure it out.
You guys had one in the
Lonnie
den, and it was starting to
piece
break.
of shit. It was a piece of shit. The neck was broken on it, I believe.
Oh, dude, the Line 6 Spider. too.
Yeah, and then we had a
was
Line 6
awesome.
Spider amp, which I still have downstairs. It's busted.
Yeah, but can be fixed.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I say downstairs because we're not in the Dazzle
I
Den.
know.
We're in my wife Katie's office upstairs because it's fucking pouring rain, and I have the air conditioned unit in the
It's a
Dazzle
beautiful
Den.
office, and Katie's
And it
flowers are
makes so much
awesome.
noises. It does. Her flowers. She made all these things.
Yeah.
And grew the flowers. But yeah. So anyway, up till let's just take a quick break and play a song. So which one do you want to play first?
Let's play Johnny Dope first, and I'll tell you all about it when we come back.
All right, yeah, this is Shortwave Radio Band. Johnny Dope is off our latest one, Frequencies, and this is one of two quote-unquote Ryan songs on the album, songs that were like written by you, and the rest of us just kind of filled in some spaces, but basically they're your songs.
You guys did great.
You did great, man. So this is Johnny Dope. See if you can hear the influences of the Zion Riders, right?
And anybody that knows history from the fife and drum, too.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. This song totally fucking mixes the reggae band and the fife and drum. Fucking Johnny Dope, Shortwave Radio Band. Be right back.
Spliff now, boy, rock steady. The life you wanna live is yours to choose. The sun is coming up right now. What you gonna do? Boy, you ain't got time to lose. Yourself together. Light up now, pull that ship through stormy weather. Life you wanna live is yours to choose. The sun is coming up right now. What you gonna do? Boy, you ain't got time to lose.
Johnny Dope off Frequencies, our first ever album. And so I do want to talk about the songwriting, like kind of in general, because it was a big kind of flip for us, the songwriting process, how it had been like the first couple singles to the album. But specifically, let's talk about what we just heard, Johnny Dope.
Sure. If any of you have ever been to one of our shows, we play it at pretty much every show, so you probably heard it. I had written Johnny Dope when I had just joined the band after the band had released Someday, before I joined the band. Right. And there was a little ska part in there. And it made me think, okay, I mean, is this where we're leaning? Are we leaning? Are we trying to go that way with ska? Let me just try to write something simple, three chords that'll go into some kind of bridge or something. So it wasn't anything I really planned. It just kind of came out of me. And I'm no poet. I'm no lyricist.
Right.
So I needed to write about something.
I just fucking like agree. You're like, I'm no poet. Goddamn right.
I can barely speak. I can't believe you gave me a microphone. But anyways, yeah. So I had to write about something, and I go, okay, what do I know? All right, I'm going to reach back into the fife and drum days. There was a song called Hey Johnny Cope, Are Ye Woken Yet? And I always thought about it was this guy who got really drunk and slept through the battle the next morning. And I recently researched that, and it's bullshit. That's actually not what it is at all.
That sounds fun, though.
Yeah, it was about some kind of battle from a long time ago.
We should do a video for Johnny Dope, and we should make it where you get so drunk that you sleep through the battle.
Oh, we could totally do that at one of the encampments at Fort Ty.
Oh yeah,
let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Folks.
Things are coming.
All right, no, go ahead. So Johnny Cope smokes.
Yeah, so I just literally just changed it to Johnny Dope, and I thought, all right, it's just this guy who, you know, he's got to get his ass out of bed. He's got to turn things around. He's just a stoner. He hates the way his life is going, and he just needs to rise up and rise above it, and you know, figure shit out.
All right. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that. It was very early on, and like it was funny. I want to talk about the songwriting of the rest of the album, but like, because like when it was a trio. We did "Don't Care." It was just me, Lonnie, and John, and then "Someday" was just me, Lonnie, and John, but we had that synth,
the horn part,
yeah, it was a horn part, and that was like the whole, like fate of the band hinged just on our ability to say yes, because like Dave Tayo, who produced it, put that little horn part in
right
as a joke. Like
and you guys said keep it. It's so good.
We were like, can we keep that?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, let me tighten it up a little.
Okay.
He goes, let me tighten it up a little bit, and then he tightened it up a little bit, and was like, how about now? And we're like, yeah. No, that's fucking awesome. And he was like, oh, okay.
No shit.
Sure. Yeah, we were just like, no, that sounds fucking rad. Because he was kind of like,
well, that's a happy
because it had that little ska part to it. He was like,
add some horns.
Add some horns.
Naturally.
And we were like, no, we're dead fucking serious.
Right.
Like, hey, you add those fucking horns. Yeah, but we were
I'll
like,
cut you.
Good. Yeah, so we were like, that's cool. Like, add the horns. And then, or you have to know this story, but and then Abby, me and Abby go back 10, 13 years.
Okay.
So I don't know what year it is. Yeah, probably 13, 14 years or something.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time. And she's been playing trumpet her whole life, and I knew she played the trumpet. And so I was like, at this one show at Bound by Fate, we were like, it'd be funny to have Abby learn the part secretly.
Oh, not tell anybody.
And not tell anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like Nick knew.
Right.
Like she would
the inner circle.
She would no, literally.
okay.
No, literally
tell
just
anybody.
Nick. Like she told nobody.
Oh wow.
Like nobody knew, and she came
fun.
over and practiced with us like 2 or 3 times and learned the part and nailed the part. And then when we were playing at Bound by Fate, she just like grabbed her trumpet and we were like, hey, Bubba. And at this point we only had 2 original songs. Right. So we would do a 2-hour cover set, and then the last 2 songs of the cover set would be our originals.
Okay.
And so for the last song of the night, we brought Abby up to do the, and
you guys must have known, like when you heard her playing the trumpet to the song for the first time, you must have known, like, holy shit. This is real.
No,
like we're on to something.
We knew it was like, practicing it was really great. But like, it was after we played the gig where we asked her that night. We were like, hey, want to just join the band?
You got to hear her play first.
yeah, we did get to hear her play first. But anyway, so we had those 2 songs, and then you joined, And I think Johnny Dope was like shortly after that, but then So Long the Hopeful was the first one with all 5 of us.
Yes, that we had
And
actually
that
recorded
was-
together.
And so like the first 3 songs that were released as singles, the first 3 songs Shortwave had were me songs. Like
right,
I wrote
the ones that you wrote.
were ones that I wrote, and like it kind of got into a like some people were like I was like the front man or something, and like I was like I'm not really that great of a songwriter.
But you
know?
are though.
But
Don't discredit yourself. Because
I'm not discrediting myself, but like those songs are those songs because of like Tayo and Lonnie,
right,
and John.
But I was
and,
there for the inception of So Long the Hopeful, where you literally came over to me and go, "I'm going to hit these notes, and I want you to go na 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 na," and it was all the same note. But what Tayo did was go, "Why don't we change the root note of that?"
Yes.
But it all started with that your vision. You know,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, but again, that was still kind of like a Blink-182 ripoff.
Oh, I mean, sure,
Like,
shamelessly.
I mean, it's if you listen to it and like I don't know if you've ever, but you know how they have like Anthem and Anthem 2.
Oh
and
yeah,
Anthem 3 or
yeah,
whatever.
definitely.
That was written. I mean, that was written before Anthem 3, but
Right.
like it was basically.
But even
Anthem
Dance
2
with
and a
Me,
half,
the
like-
song we play, it starts with the same kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I it was that open
Yeah.
dancing open string.
So maybe
type
we
thing.
ripped it off a little bit, but at the end, it's totally us.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
we get there.
But like my point is essentially is like once you and Abby came on and we were like solidified as like a 5-piece, it became like really apparent to me, you know, with like Johnny Dope coming basically overnight and then like a bunch of like, you know, riffs going back and forth. And I remember saying, you know, that you and Lonnie should link up together and start a, you know, text together and bounce song ideas off each other because, you know, and so you two essentially, and I don't want to discredit like Abby or John or myself in the process of the album, but I mean, you and Lonnie did all the heavy lifting of it, and it was like a very intentional, like holy shit, like we can really do something cool, like because I can come up with like cool 3-chord things,
Sure.
you know, 3-note things, but like you two really brought your fucking A games with like to, you know, the different guitar parts and the this and that. So I guess, and you know, I always say everything's for my own curiosity, but like literally for my own curiosity, just because you're my guest and you have to talk to me.
God damn it.
But like, how did that go right from the beginning? Like, where you two were like, "Hey, let's write a fucking album." Go.
Well, it's fair to begin by saying that we had made an announcement that we were putting an album out
Yes.
before writing any of the songs.
A single note.
Which, take that however you want it.
No,
And
that's how I do things.
it can be stressful at times, for sure. But without that, I don't know if I would have had the motivation to say, holy shit, I need to finish this idea.
Yeah.
I'll hem and haw, and oh, is this right? Oh, should we put this here? I didn't have time to do that.
That's why
for
it
the
was
first
very
time ever.
important for me to be like, we need to put it out there.
Ultimately,
we're making an album.
Yeah, I think it was a great exercise for me personally that I was forced to finish an idea. And with like Yellow, for instance, I go, okay, I've got these 4 chords. And literally, if you listen to Yellow, it is 4 chords over and over and over. That's
3.
it.
It's 3.
It's 3 majors and a minor. Yeah.
Well,
for you.
Yeah,
For
you
you.
fucking nerds and your majors and mine. I was like, no,
I'm still on the same note.
I'm on the same note, man.
But I mean, even so, that was an interesting one because I had sent TJ Foster the click track from a manual metronome, like an actual metronome.
I do. I was there,
from I think probably the 1970s that definitely needs to be
and
calibrated.
it fell out of time.
Oh, for sure. But we kept it. And TJ just goes, I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And he kept that original. So it's, if you put the recording of Yellow up to a metronome, it will be out of sync,
Yes.
which I think is kind of interesting.
Me too.
Yeah.
And also another fun fact is that acoustic guitar in the beginning of Yellow, which we will hear in a little bit, that's
also TJ Foster. We had originally recorded it as like a glassy, like chorus type
shimmery,
of, yeah,
like
shimmery.
little,
And when he sent it with the acoustic guitar, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's definitely it. Yeah, he killed it.
And like the thing I like too is that there's a lot of, there could be a lot of ego with a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like that's your song, and
I don't look at any of these songs that way.
No, and I mean, again, on Walk Your Own Dog.
Yeah.
There's that. I mean, and I know it now, so don't do everybody. But like, there's
chill out, man.
Everybody fucking calm down. The part in the beginning that and you're just gonna have to go listen to it if you want to know what I'm talking about. But there's a little cool little like bass solo thing in the beginning, and when we were in the studio, that song fucking didn't exist essentially. And Lonnie had written that part, and I was having some difficulty hitting it. And I was like, "Listen, I can sit here for 2 hours and I can learn this whole part,
right?
Or I can just hand you the bass and you could knock it out in one take."
Sure.
And, and it was kind of like, well,
that speaks to
like, yeah, I have no problem with that. Like, and I have no problem telling people, like,
there's no ego.
The bass in the beginning of Walk Your Own Dog, and at the end is Lonnie, and it was because I literally was like, I'm fucking struggling with this, like with this thing, and why waste the time?
Exactly, and it makes for a great story.
Yeah, and I can crush it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you haven't crushed it,
but I had to learn it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I had to learn it. And
well, if you weren't playing Fortunate Son all day,
let's just keep my chops up, son.
Right. That's right. Well, whatever you're doing is paying off.
keep my chops up. Yeah, I also want to start doing a bunch of like hip hop bass lines, like Tribe Called Quest shit.
Yeah,
because they use like a lot of like jazz loop stuff and like fretless bass. But anyway, back to you.
Yeah.
So, you've started, with Lonnie. You're writing these songs. Like, did you find? Because I know, like, Lonnie's style and your style are definitely different because. Lonnie's a classic rock guy and has his roots in, rock and metal, where you've got reggae. And, so how did the two, I guess, kind of things blend together to come with, because there are elements of a little bit of both in everything.
Right. I think a good example would be like Crash Site was our crash course of doing this. Lonnie would send me a file of an idea that he'd have for a song, and it would be the bare bones of what you'd hear of Crash Site. And I would give him suggestions along the way. So it was 80% Lonnie and 20% me on that one. And really mine was just like, why don't you go to this chord at this specific time, or try this chord, or I'd play him back something that I could hear in my head, like a little solo thing.
And you were doing a bunch of that, like over text, like little audio files.
Yeah, just like that memo thing from my phone. Yeah, I'm not really tech savvy with stuff. I used to be, but like I'm getting older, and it just like happens. I think I'm like, I got that app on my phone.
I use this application on my telephone. So you're going back and forth, throwing riffs back and forth, and then when do you at what point are you like, yeah, that's cool, that's done? That's
like 78 back and forths, maybe to 178. I'm not sure. It all varies, but we sort of feel it out, and he'll send me an edited file, and I'll go, okay, now we're gonna try this. And I don't know, for real. That probably took us about a week, but we had like an idea. At the time, we were thinking Aliens for some reason. Because awesome. Because Don't Sink was actually the first tune, and we were going with some sort of like aviation theme. We didn't know.
That's because Don't Sink, and that's true. I do have an Andy song, kind of.
You do
on like Don't Sink. Don't Sink is my song. I wrote the most of it. Lonnie wrote the chorus, and I wrote the verses or whatever. And I'll tell everybody that it's about a very deep subject. I don't know if I I don't know if I can get into it here.
It's
Personal. It's really personal. This is very hard for me. I have a love for Microsoft's Flight Simulator, and I have dozens and dozens and dozens of hours. I'm like, I think I'm up to like fucking 200 hours flying.
Like,
flying
Andy, what are you doing
airplane.
today? Flying to Portland.
I'm flying to Portland, Oregon from Detroit. I'm doing a Detroit to Portland. No, but anyway, that song, that Don't Sing, just came from the voice thing from a small plane, like when you're taking off and it knows you should be climbing,
Like the whoop whoop. Don't sing.
It is, yes,
Whoop, whoop.
exactly. It makes a little alarm set and then goes, don't sink, don't sink.
Does it say it like that?
Don't
Like,
sink.
don't
The one,
sing.
yeah, no, yeah, totally.
so like
the one,
so matter of factly.
I'm like doing a perfect impression. Ready? Don't sink. Don't sink.
Can you imagine that's the last thing you
I
hear
know,
before
totally.
you die?
You're like, lady, will you at least like just pretend that this is an emergency?
It's
You know
actually
what I
kind of
mean?
calming if you do die. I
But
guess.
it does have a little whoop 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 thrown in there. But anyway, that's where that song came from, and the aviation theme, just because I'm like, I love playing Flight Simulator. Let's write a song about it.
We didn't know if the album was going to have a theme. So at that
No,
point,
yeah,
it was that was the second
That was
song.
Yeah,
so.
that was just written, whatever.
And then we said, well, we could put "Let's Run Away" and "Johnny Dope" on there because they're not released anywhere.
yeah.
So,
Well,
okay, we got like half an album.
yeah, they're released on live albums.
Right.
Johnny Dope is on our band shows live album.
Yeah.
And so is Let's Run Away. And then Let's Run Away is also on the Jive Hive
Right.
EP. But there are different versions, they're live versions, and plus the version on the album is way different. But you'll have to go listen to that.
Right. I'd say probably the easiest one to do was Where We Both Started, featuring JB, aka Dirty Moses.
Yeah, because
Lonnie basically sent me the riff, and he goes, "Can you put a bass line to this?" So back to the Zion Riders.
You
days.
wrote the bass line
Boom,
that I
ba-da-dum,
play.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And that took 2 seconds. And
Although
we were
it
done.
is me on the recording.
That is you.
and I am happy to say there is no loops on the bass line.
Really?
I don't know if you knew that.
Wow,
There
that's
are no
awesome.
loops. There are a
Good
couple.
job.
There are a couple of punch-ins, like just a couple,
Yep.
like 3 or 4 like punch-ins for like one kind of note that was a little too close to the fret and there was a little
Right.
buzz or whatever, but like that is not looped.
But you played it continuous through the song.
I played it continuous. So did John.
Sweet.
So like the drums and the bass on Where We Both Started is a
One take.
one take with just a couple little punch-ins.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I felt good about that.
As you should.
Yeah. All right, but anyway, I think we should kind of wrap it up because we're going really fucking long, and I
Sure.
kind of knew this was going to happen.
I mean, we're just chilling.
we're just chilling.
We're not even in the den.
hanging out. Oh, and we should. Did you see my signature weed that I got?
I did. Congratulations on the signature.
Well, it's not my
weed.
signature weed.
Yeah.
But, it's
Permanent marker. Is that what it's called?
Permanent marker is the strain. Yeah.
Nice.
And they approached me because the colors were orange.
Yep.
And it was going to be anyway.
Right.
And Allison was like, "Oh, would you be cool with like, lending the logo and partnering up and
Right.
having this be a local strain for Unsigned518?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, yeah. And I kind of didn't know like it was really going to happen because like that a couple weeks went by,
Right.
and then I just get this Instagram video, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" There
Dude,
it is.
that's
Like
sick.
it's like real. So I'm gonna go down there.
Well, congrats,
to 400 River and pick some up.
Yeah.
Pick some
I'm
up.
excited
this
to try
weekend. Yeah. Oh, you'll get your shot.
Sweet. I still want some soap. By
Oh,
the way.
yeah.
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 If anybody doesn't know, Andy made some bomb ass orange soap.
Yeah. I do have enough to make another round of
Yeah,
soap.
we got to do that.
And by orange soap, it was orange. Like the scent was orange, cedar wood, and weed.
Yeah.
So it was like,
It was the perfect combo.
Yeah, it was great. All right, but we should wrap this up. But let's hear Yellow, and
Sure.
then maybe just tell us just a touch about what this song's all about.
Sure. This song, again, sort of written under duress, sort of to finish the album. this was a lesson in dynamics for me, being that I've only played 4 chords over and over. I thought, okay, what can I do with vocal melodies? And, in the shower, humming it along, kind of came up with the guitar solo in the shower, and then I had to find those notes. So it was an interesting musical process to figure that out. I think the guy in yellow is also Johnny Dope, probably. I think they're the same person, written in the same vein, so we'll just go with that.
Fair. All right, well, let's check out Yellow from Shortwave Radio Band, and we'll be right back to wrap it up.
Who'd have thought that this could be? Chip it away my density. Lord, I am loaded, believe me. I've tired all these years. I don't believe in anything but yellow.
All right, that was Yellow, Shortwave Radio Band. And Ryan, I want to thank you so much for making the trip from 2.5 miles away to the place where you come for band practice every Monday. I know it was really tough, and you had to drink beers. And
I had one
watch
beer.
Me smoke weeds while you were here.
Delicious.
Yeah, crazy shit. But I really appreciate it. But before we go, just like all my guests, I want to give you a chance to say what I refer to as your gratitude.
All right. Well, thank you, Andy, for having me over.
You're welcome.
Multiple times a week.
Right.
Thank you, Katie Scullin,
Right.
for putting up with a band playing in your house every week.
And sometimes making that band dinner.
You the real MVP. And I gave you your Tupperware back from that delicious macaroni salad. So thank you, Katie. I want to say thanks to all you guys in Shortwave Radio Band, my bandmates. Love you guys. You're the best. A huge thanks to TJ Foster for this project. Like, he is amazing. I learned a lot hanging with him. It was super fun to hang with him.
Yeah.
And my God, like, what a cool process. So thank you, TJ. And Dave Tayo, too, from working with Dave. A similar thing when we were recording those other things. I don't know if they know this, but I look at those as free lessons. You're teaching me stuff.
Right.
Like, you're teaching me a lot of shit. So thanks, guys.
It wasn't free.
I mean, to me, I didn't pay anything out of pocket. So, hey.
All right. Well, he is Ryan Shaw of Shortwave Radio Band. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned 518. See you on the road. Unsigned 518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening, or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at Unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.